we're also going to press the boost function here. Whoa! Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be reviewing the all-new Genesis GV60 Performance. Before we end this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. We have a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack that's paired to a dual electric motor setup. Total range is 235 miles. Power outputs 429 horsepower and then 516 pound-feet of torque. This does have a boost function, which will jump the horsepower up to almost 500. Before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood itself, it's pretty simplistic with the design. You got the Genesis logo front and center and then some soft lines off to either side. And then coming down below, you can see it looks pretty crazy with the styling. You got these cool LED headlights there, and then notice we actually have a grille at the bottom, even though it's an electric car. It is closed off, but it's for design reasons. Parking sensors as well. And putting it all together, I think that the GV60 is a pretty cool looking EV. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255, 40, 21 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the design on the wheels, really crazy overall. You got the Genesis logo there in the center too. I dig them. Now you guys can see the fender flares don't really flare out all that much. And then you can see the bodywork here at the bottom, also crazy. We also have those pop-out door handles. Charging port is pretty simple. You just put your finger on it. Well, apparently I didn't press it enough. There you go. And then it will open up, and when you're done, you can just press this and that'll close it. And then taking a look at the full side profile here, again, it has a cool sporty kind of like hatchback type appearance. Again, I dig it. Now I actually have the key fobs here for the GV60, so you get two different key fobs, which is kind of interesting. It's part of the setup for the eye scan technology. You have to have both of them on you to be able to set that up, and the fingerprint too. But anyways, pretty cool looking key fob overall. Notice we have the self-park function on the one side, and then you got this for like the charging and then your remote start function. On the other side, we've got like regular stuff, door lock and unlock, and then of course the opening for the hatch, which apparently there we go. I thought I was gonna say that key fob's dead. Nope, it's not, it works. Storage space here in the rear is actually pretty solid with the GV60, as you can see, and you can see more storage underneath, and then we do have a 12 volt here off to the side. Notice we can lock the rear, or we can press that and that'll just lower the hatch without locking anything. Now we're going to start here with the window because this is interesting. You guys can see you got window, and then you have a spoiler, and then you have window yet again. It's, yeah, very unique. And then you guys can see here with the tail lights, you got the Genesis logo GV60, and then we've got our parking sensors there at the bottom. And notice how they make it look like there's going to be exhaust tips. And I do need to say that on camera, this car doesn't look all that good, but trust me, in person, it actually is pretty cool looking. I do like the bright green they have for this. I did review one of those earlier. But anyways, there's the rear. So here's our door panel. We actually have sunshades for the back passengers. Really nice leather trim. Then you guys can see here mixed with like the suede, and then we've got more leather down below. And then look at the controls, the finish on them. Heated seats for the rear passengers. I love the cup holder right there. It's like perfect. Bang & Olufsen sound system, then more storage down below. And then here are the seats. I love the design. Notice it's quilted and perforated in the center. Now that I'm back here, you guys can see legroom solid. We got this little storage cubby, and then we've got a vent here for the rear, and we got some USB port action in the center, and then some more storage space down in the bottom. And the rear, of course, has good old-fashioned cup holder armrest. And if you're wondering, headroom's actually pretty solid back here. Before we go over the door panel, I do want to mention this has that eye scan technology. So once you have it set up, you basically just show this little sensor right here, your face, and you become the key fob, which is pretty cool. Going back to the door panel, you guys can see really nice leather here at the top. And again, notice like the suede, and there's that little line that goes through, and then more nice padding. We've got all of our window controls right here. And then I love how you've got this like stalk that leads up to the mirror adjustment. The mirrors do power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring. And then you guys can see memory seat functionality as well. And it's a cool looking door. Now with the front seats, again, really nice trim, and notice the quilted design all down the center. And then we have a bunch of adjustments here on the side of the seat, lumbar, and then you also have massage function. Love the look of the pedals here at the bottom. And then you guys can see here for the hatch, you got your parking brake and stability control. So here's the steering wheel, really nice leather trim all around, and then the stitching down the center matches. Notice we've got these paddle shifters here on the back for the regen. I love the finish on the buttons here on the front face. This does have adaptive cruise control as well as steering assist. We got our drive mode select here on the steering wheel, and then your boost function to get almost 500 horsepower. Then you got this little black box right here to control different functions, which is pretty cool. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. Now we have this full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and it shows you a bunch of important bits of information, like you can see our state of charge right now, and then what the regen system is doing. And then we can scroll through different menus here, so like we can see where the power distribution was going with that screen, for example. And then when you change the drive modes, it does change how the screen actually looks. You guys can see the few different modes, and then notice if we hold, it'll change to My Drive Mode, which is the custom drive mode that you can set up. Here's our camera system, full 360 camera system. You got the bird's eye view there at the top, and look at this. I got this cool exterior shot of the GV60 as well. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of the camera system that Genesis has in the new cars, and this is no different. As for the infotainment system, first off, response time with the screen is fantastic. And the thing that's cool is I don't actually have to use a touchscreen if I don't want. I've got a dial that I can scroll through all the different menus. Big thing here is going to be EV. So notice it'll show us with our range. I don't have the climate controls on, so that's how much range I get without the climate being on, which is pretty cool. So we got a bunch of controls here in this section. This is like our analog climate control section. Then also we got a bunch of shortcut buttons here for the infotainment system. And then we got some charging ports down there and then some more storage. Now this is like our floating center console. Notice there's like nothing underneath it, but we got some cup holders here. This is the little fingerprint scanner there in the center. And then this is some analog controls again for the infotainment system, and then the dial right next to it. And then you have the shifter, which there's a cool party trick of that. So actually if I press this, notice that it'll turn upside down, then I turn it on. So yeah, pretty cool. And then we have heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, auto hold, that's for the camera to pop that on, and then your parking sensors. Center console, which it's a normal center console. It does have a wireless phone charging pad in front and some nice material use on the top. And then also look at this for the seat, for the rear passenger to adjust this seat if they want. Material use here on the dash, really top notch as you can see. And then this has the weird like drawer glove box. I'm still not sure how to feel about this. It's such an interesting touch. Up top here, we've got the light controls, which notice that you just like tap for the little light, which is kind of fun. And then you got the control here for the sunroof. So notice with the shades, if I close it, they like close together, which is definitely interesting. And then nice premium headliner. Here's a window sticker for this GV60 Performance. You guys can see all of the standard equipment and the warranty. 5-year, 6,000 mile new vehicle warranty, 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain, and then the electric system as well. And notice that pretty much everything is standard with this package. Total MSRP $69,560. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before you set off. Here's visibility over the hood. You guys can see the heads-up display now. Both the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Oh, setting off in the GV60, and let me know what you guys think about like the little ambient lighting touches that you can see here, since we're doing a quote-unquote night review with the car by accident, just because of how crazy my schedule's been. Let's see with the, oh my gosh, when you use the paddles and you go to max, again, that's with the left paddle, the regen is so aggressive that, you don't have to use the brake. Already, this regens pretty aggressively. So you can already do a one pedal drive, but that like makes it like mega one pedal drive. That's like, literally I don't have to use the brake. I can pretty much just use that. I can pretty much just use that paddle. Look at the turn signal camera too. That's another neat function. So we're gonna pop this into sport mode. Okay. So we've got it in sport mode, and we're also gonna press the boost function here. Whoa! That is fast. That is really fast. It kind of tugged on the wheel there a little bit. You guys probably saw that. Wow, that is so intense. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a fun car. I mean, EVs we all know are crazy, but like this is fun. And I think that boost function adds a level of excitement to this that a lot of other EVs don't have, because like, yeah, they're always fast, but this is like, I don't know, like you have to pass them and you're like, boost. I don't know, it feels video gamey. Some of you might not like that. I think it's pretty cool though. Ride quality is really good with the GV60. On top of having really good ride quality, it's also it's just like really quiet. Like Genesis has done a really good job with making this a solid luxury car. Seat comfort is amazing. Again, having the massaging function, the heated function, cold function, all that's nice. And speaking of heated function, we're gonna turn that on because it's a little bit chilly today. And we'll do the heated steering wheel as well because, a little bit nippy today. But overall, daily driving this, it's a really positive experience. That lane departure is kind of annoying. I'm not on the line and it keeps thinking that I'm on the line. I don't know if it's because of the lighting right now, but like I'm next to it, but I'm not on it. That is frustrating. So I guess that's one thing. The adaptive cruise control and the steering assistance work really, really well. So that's another big plus here with the GV60. We're gonna do that boost function again because that is so much fun. Ah! Man, it just like rips your head off. It is so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Genesis, you make some fun cars, that is for sure. So overall, you know, as an EV, I absolutely love this. The biggest critique for this, and this is for most EVs that are coming out of OEMs, they need more range. Like guys, 200 something miles of range is not enough. 300 miles of range needs to be the baseline. Like that's what base model EVs need to be at. And then if it's, you know, a more loaded up luxury EV, 400 miles. Like that's what the standard needs to be. And I understand that the battery technology is not quite there yet, and we'll get there. Like there are cars that obviously have that much range, but you have to have a big battery, or you have to have a very expensive vehicle that's super aerodynamically efficient and yada yada yada. So that's the only thing, is it's just not enough range, and that's actually what's keeping me out of the EV market right now, because all the EVs that do have super solid range, I either don't like them, like Teslas. I'm just not a big fan of Teslas, or they're just too expensive, like the Lucid Air, for example. That has a lot of range, but it's just too expensive. This thing drives so well. It handles really well too. I mean, EV, low center of gravity. So yeah, that's my frustration. Like I want to buy an EV sometime in the relatively near future, but until there is an EV that's made by one of the, you know, affordable companies, like as an affordable EV that has good range, I'm kind of out at this point. But let me know what you guys think about this new GV60. I think it's pretty snazzy, and I will say I would, you know, despite the range thing, I would still get this over a Tesla. I think it looks better. The interior quality is way better. It drives, like, it's better in every single way. The only thing that Tesla has going for it is more range, and then Tesla's charging infrastructure. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this GV60, and with that being said, I'll see all of you in the next video.